We'll now start with question number 2, being in Ward 2 with Ms. Newkirk. In contested races, Mr. Diebold will answer first, Mr. Miles will answer second. In Ward 4, Ms. Moore will answer first, Mr. Neal will answer second. Question of this is this. Ms. Newkirk, you had alluded to creative utilization of this space down here. It just so happens this is going to be somewhat of what your question is going to allude to. Question for all. What steps should the City of Merriam be taking to stimulate economic development and facilitating more individuals to utilize and or visit Merriam's historic downtown area?
Wow. I feel like this is what I'm passionate about. This is actually what I am excited about. This would be one of the things I am hoping for, would be utilization of this very area, the amphitheater, and partnering with the farmers market, and bringing maybe the Turkey Creek Festival back here. One of the issues that I have as I've been going around is the preservation of the old with creating new spaces. That's really one of the visions that I would have for this area, and the park space, bringing people back, children, playground space, wanting to come down here. That's what I would really like to see, people wanting to come down here and use this space, and wanting performance area with the amphitheater. Groups may be coming, performances, folks wanting to come down and visit this area more. That was really one of the things I would really like to see. That's kind of the cornerstone of what I would like to see happen in this area, and bringing more people down here.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ms. Evans, the question is to you.
Could you just restate it so I can be very focused on what you've asked?
For you, I would love to.
Thank you.
Just for you.
What steps should the City of Merriam be taking to stimulate economic development and facilitating more individuals to utilize and or visit Merriam's historic downtown area?
So the economic development part of downtown is really going to be largely dependent on what happens with the Corps of Engineers and our flood control project. As far as just getting people to visit with what we have now, I think the activities that the Parks and Recreation group has provided for us at the marketplace have really drawn people here. We've also added our art projects, and we hope that that ends up being something that also will draw people to downtown, opportunities to see and hear and experience different things. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We will now hear the response from Ms. Moore.
Steps to stimulate economic development and bring more people into historic downtown. You know, both of those are tied to the floodplain. You know, I mean, they just really are. Any economic development, those improvements are tied to floodplain improvements, and then more people coming to shop, to eat, to do all those things are going to have those different options, and that too is tied to floodplain issue. It's just, it's in the floodplain, and it's limited regarding what economic options are available right now for people to come in and purchase and put in businesses, and for the existing businesses to make improvements, because it's in the floodplain. So until that issue is addressed, we probably can't, make sweeping improvements, but we do what we can, which is Parks and Rec, bringing people in, the trails, the farmers market, the community center, the events that we have here, the art project, or the art projects, but also the art displays that we have upstairs. We try to bring people in for that, and part of that's just enhancing community life. But that's, without fixing the floodplain, we can't make massive changes.
Thank you very much for your thoughtful response. Mr. Neal will now hear your response to the question.
Okay. Again, like the first question, I've actually written extensively about this issue and the first question on my website. But to try to summarize my thoughts, I agree that the floodplain is a problem. business owners can't expand their business or reconfigure it while on floodplain until the flood control project is done. However, I'm also a believer in going out and going up against impossible odds sometimes. I think the city needs to do some more lobbying to try to, both at the state level and at the federal level, to hopefully get the ball off dead center and get some money from the Corps of Engineers coming back this way. Sometimes a squeaky wheel works, and so until we do that, we're really limited in what we can do. But that's another reason why I think it's important that we attempt to preserve the historic facility that we have here, because it's essentially an anchor for what would be the downtown Merriam. And I think having a historic downtown is really part of our identity as a community. I mean, I love going in Old Shawnee or Old Lenexa and Old Overland Park. I think that establishes who these communities are. And we have a unique challenge, and if I'm on the city council, I will work very hard to try to push things along so that we do get the flood control project underway, and then we can do the other things.
Thank you very much, Mr. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay. Mayor Assistant
There's a lot of importance in keeping a core district in place and trying to do what you can to make it thrive. Back in the 1980s, we spent a couple $1 million putting in a brand new street. We offered businesses financial incentives to improve the outsides of their businesses, and there were a number of improvements. In fact, you'd be shocked to know what this place looked like before we made those improvements today. It looks much better than it used to look. Maybe it's time for the city to look at the possibility of getting back involved and offering some of these incentives. My opponent's not here this evening. However, he made a comment in the Shawnee Mission Post that he felt that the downtown area was just a service district, and that we didn't really need to use tax money to do anything to improve it, that there wasn't a need for the citizens or the residents on improving the infrastructure down in here. And I disagree considerably, because this is a part of our city. This is where it all began. Not to say that everybody's going to come here first, but it's important for us to keep this place up. And we've done a pretty good job given the fact that we do have a floodplain. More can be done. Pushing the Corps of Engineers is almost as hard as pushing the railroad. We can lobby all day, but it doesn't seem to help, and we have done some of that. We're going to continue to push them, but it's been tough. But we're willing, as a council, I certainly as a mayor, be willing to keep that fight going. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And now hear the remarks of Mr. Scott Deagle.
Obviously, a lot of things covered here. The floodplain is going to keep any major development from happening. We know that. What we do here is, again, back to those questions. What we do here can draw people in. It can get people to come downtown, tying it again with farmers market. Some of the preliminary drawings that we've seen, things proposed, things that we can do on this site, do a neat job of tying those two together, bringing Turkey Creek Festival back down here, bringing them here. We need to invest in this area, and I believe that too. Now, incentives, I mean, those are all things that you got to discuss and look at, and how much, what is, and so forth. But I think the businesses down here, keeping up their property is just as important as us keeping up our properties, and I think that draws people into this area. So.
Very good. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Miles, finally, the question is to you.
It's kind of hard being the first and now the last. But I agree with everybody. It really depends on what we decide to do with this building. To bring the people into this area. When this building leaves, a lot of the traffic will leave with it. So it's the forums of the people getting together and deciding what we're going to do with this, to decide how much traffic will still be here. It's a shame to let this area fall down, but there's just so much money that has to be put into this building. Is it worth it?